समझ नहीं आ रहा था because we've all seen them on Shark Tank. We've admired them from afar. लेकिन फिर भी एक कपलेट मैंने ढूंढ ही लिया इनकी शान में and it goes something like this. शाखों पे बरगे जर्द की तादाद बढ़ गई. बरगे जर्द यानी पीले पत्ते signaling autumn. So you know it's that time of the year when the autumn leaves start falling. That's what we're talking about. शाखों पे बरगे जर्द की तादाद बढ़ गई. छोटी सी एक शाख हिलाने की देर है. ये बर्फ का पहाड़ कोई मसला नहीं है. आवाज को बस वजूद में लाने की देर है. यानी आवाज को बस उठाने की देर है. Shark Tank has brought in a revolution of sorts, signaling change, much like those leaves of autumn, right? Much like that season which gives way to winter. We only need to raise our voice to become a part of this revolution. And hence, I now welcome beyond the tank, scaling businesses with investment from Shark Tank. And on this panel, we have Mr. Gursaurabh Singh, founder, Dhruv Vidyut. I would request him to come up on the dais. We have Aditi Bhutia Madan, founder, Blurred Pine Foods, Momo, Mami. We have Rajat Jain, founder, Sunfox Technologies. And we have Ms. Jyoti, founder, TeaFit. Since we've all seen them on Shark Tank, I think they deserve a better round of applause. Let's make it more energetic. Let's make it a warm welcome indeed. And tying the panel together is our moderator, Mr. Harit Mohan, Vice President, TIECON Chandigarh, and founder, Signicent LLP. Like I said, ये बर्फ का पहाड़ कोई मसला नहीं है. आवाज को वजूद में लाने की देर है. वक्त आ गया है.
Thank you so much, Niharika, for such a wonderful anchoring throughout the day. I have a very interesting Shark Tank panel. All of them has been featured on one of the seasons of Shark Tank. So maybe I'll start with a round of applause for each of them for, you know, kind of setting up the real good trend. And probably we can start with, you Gursaurabh. I think there is an AV being played. Can we have the volume? I think this video has been seen by a lot of us on social media, YouTube, somewhere on the TV. So maybe we can look at the AV quickly here. Gursaurabh, I'll start with you. Thank you. आपकी videos के साथ there is a punchline that got associated. Are you ready?
Do you have a matchbox?
We don't have a matchbox. Probably the final sign will go off. But
Thank you.
yeah, so I would like to know, how does this invention and then the product went to Shark Tank? Could you quickly tell us about the journey from, having an invention product that led to Shark Tank? Because we saw all the sharks got excited and your demand was very, very different. I think you asked for like 0.5% of equity for like 100 hours from the sharks. So, which was very different, and I think that attracted a lot of audience and viewership. So, quick question to you: how do you get into that?
Right. I always look at my journey in two parts. One part is the journey of the inventor, and the inventor functions differently. And then there is the journey of the entrepreneur, which is just beginning. And I'm doing it for the first time, by the way. So when the inventor thinks and the invention phase is going on, you have a problem, you're working on a solution, and nothing matters. It's pure passion. Whereas when that has been accomplished, somewhat accomplished, the invention is right here, and it's meeting the parameters that I had in mind, the journey of the entrepreneur therefore begins. And the entrepreneur has to think very differently than the inventor. Very rarely you will come across an inventor who is a very successful entrepreneur. So I am saying this myself, hoping that I become that one. And the Shark Tank, what that symbolizes is the beginning of the entrepreneur who needs mentorship, needs guidance, can't be that passionate all through and run that sort of passion while you are an entrepreneur. How do I do that? I haven't learned anything which teaches me that. So the mentorship, the number of hours, for me in particular, and I very firmly believe that the time that we live now, time is the commodity, especially after Corona, what we have noticed. So for me, those 100 hours, they were invaluable. They will pave the journey for the entrepreneur in me. That was the intent.
Great answer. Thank you for that. Aditi, I'll come to you then, and then Jyoti, I'm going to come to you. So Aditi, as you would know, has been featured on MasterChef as well. And she was also on Shark Tank. So, a round of applause to you, Aditi. You've done very wonderful, I think, throughout this journey. इनका एक बहुत interesting नाम है, which is known as Momo Mami. Have you heard of this? All of you? Okay, a lot of you. So you're already popular. So how does this nomenclature came into? किसने रखा ये नाम? Who what was the journey of this, wonderful and very viral name, so to say?
Firstly, I would like to thank TIE Chandigarh for inviting us to this discussion here. Thank you so much, Chandigarh. I myself wasn't aware that मेरा नाम मोमो मामी होने जा रहा है, and
you don't look like a mommy actually.
so thanks to Mama, who's my husband, Nitesh Madan, so that's how I'm Mami.
Okay.
So yeah, when I was in MasterChef in season 3, 2013, so I used to tell this story of bhanja bhanji जैसे घर पे आते हैं, and then cooking momos for them. My mother-in-law used to ask me, बच्चे आ रहे तो आप momos बनाना, steamer लेते आना जयपुर से. So I used to cook momos for them, and that's how like mami आप momos कब बना रहे and all. So this story while audition होता है जब, तो I had shared it to the judges there in MasterChef, and every time from then Chef Vikas Khanna used to keep calling me in all the competitions, Momo Mami Jindabad, Momo Mami, something like that. But never had I even thought that I would be doing something particularly on momos. At that point of time, I was not even aware that I would become an accidental entrepreneur, right? Because I had to do something in life. I was always trying to be busy with something or the other, but I didn't know that I would end up being an entrepreneur. So the journey started from there. But when I started Blue Pine Foods, so before registering it as a company, as a startup in 2016, we were doing R&D and trial in Jaipur, okay? So that time about frozen momos. Now why frozen momos? Because I saw that there's a stigma around the product, right? And also that it's a staple food, and I've grown up amongst 14 family members, right? in the Himalayas, and I was very much concerned about it. And also at the same point of time, specifically if I talk about Blue Pine Foods, it's about reducing agro-produce wastage and decay, converting it into a product. So what better product could it be than momos, which is cooked as steamed, which is very healthy way of cooking, right? भाप का खाना सबसे best होता है, whereas market is filled with potato-based products where the option or choice is only frying. So a food that I would consume for myself and I would like to serve to the nation, saving the world one momo at a time, you know, to change the way India eats. This was the purpose, that how it started. And in 2020, when I was getting incubated under NSRCell, IIM Bangalore, that time I got to realize that I was doing my product all upon momos, you know, and how beautiful a coincidence, how beautiful the dots are getting connected from 2013 till now. So it was a beautiful journey. When I look back, everything was, decided for.
Right. Maybe we can now go to Jyoti. Jyoti, we had a conversation yesterday with Jyoti. And I was just joking around with Jyoti that I made a real hard pitch to get her stay tonight because you have really good gala dinner coming up. So thank you, Jyoti, for staying in there. So Jyoti has a wonderful TeaFit brand. They make a lot of teas. I think we can hear a little about you, Jyoti. And I would also like to club it with one more question. You know, and this is for all of you, but I'll start with you first. That, you know, once you're featured on Shark Tank, you become almost like a star, you know, overnight. When you go back, probably a lot of young entrepreneurs are watching you. They're seeing you. They're following you. Your followers kind of skyrockets, maybe.
Right.
What are the 3 different tools or 3 different things that you did immediately going back to your company?
Right.
So we would like to know a little about those three items.
So there are lots of questions in that one question. So I'll try and unpack one by one. Hi. My name is Jyoti. I'm the founder of this unsweetened beverage brand called TeaFit. All of us have different journeys. First of all, am I audible? Hi. Okay. So all of us have different journeys. Some of us start up when we are 20, 21, straight out of college. We have a brilliant idea and we kind of push for it. Mine hasn't been a straightforward road. I have done, I think, everything else that I could and then eventually found what I wanted to do. I have worked in different startups, from real estate to food and beverages, and then one accidental trip to Japan and kind of everything connected there. I come from a diabetic household and we were never exposed to bottled beverages growing up. But in my time in Japan, I was exposed to this entire mature category of unsweetened beverages that we wouldn't find back home. Here we were resorted to the same cola, the same energy drink and sugar-filled juices or fruit-based beverages, and there was no innovation anywhere kind of happening in between. I had no clue what to do in beverages. I was working in real estate when this idea came to me, but by then all my middle class obligations were done. No education loan, had bought myself a house in Mumbai. And then I was like, if I don't do it now, then maybe I will never do it. And so that's how I started. I started as a solo founder. I still am running this business myself. The funding from sharks notwithstanding. And we have a small team based out of Mumbai, and we are currently shipping pan-India. Coming to your question, overnight stardom, all of that is overnight. Like there are years of work that goes behind it. So if somebody has built and taken their time building, this is not going to sway them because they can see that this is just a blip on the radar and the journey is much further ahead.
Yes.
Like if you are out to build a 1,000 or 5,000 crore brand, or if you're out to build a meaningful brand, then this is just a blip on the radar. You get called to all these nice events like here I am today, but I know that I am here because there is a business that I'm building and not for anything else. I'm not a movie star or a TV star or for in any other capacity. So if the business is there, then I am there. It's not vice versa. And the 3-point question that there was, I think immediately if such a spike happens, and our episode did end up getting a lot of love, And so we were not prepared for the kind of you know, positive fallout it'll have. Like we were inundated with orders. We were shipping from our offices, warehouses, even my home. So the first thing I would say is having a good team helps. A good team that is willing to not leave at 6 when you have like 5,000 orders pending. So having a good team helps, and grooming that team. Like if you have groomed a team as opposed to just hired A-listers, I feel that that's zameen asman ka farak in them standing up for the company when the time is required. So all of my team in Mumbai, we've hired them from colleges like freshers, and for last 2 years they've been working with me. So they all stood the test of this difficult time post Shark Tank. And so the number one thing is that you need to have a good team of 4-5 people who will be your backbone of the company, and thankfully we have developed that. Second, I would say that the more friendly you are with technology, the better insights you will get into your customer, who is buying, from where they're buying, what kind of repeats you're seeing. And the third is just having the long-term vision for the brand. I didn't start out thinking 3-4 saal mein or 3-4 years I'll take an exit. I started with no idea of whether I want to take investment or not. I wanted to build a meaningful brand. I wanted to build a brand.
Right.
Harit, I'll add to that.
You'd like to add?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, please go. So the idea was to do this irrespective of who kind of joins you in the journey. And after a couple of years of like seeing all sorts of things, you know, difficulty in getting shelf space to finding the right product market fit, when you eventually see this kind of you know, uptick, or you see this kind of validation, it only bolsters your confidence in what you're building is you're on the right track.
Right.
So
Harit,
want to just add a quick point?
just wanted to add, did you see her episode?
Yes.
Yeah, how many here saw her episode?
She came with 2 kids.
Yeah, you know, I remember it very vividly. She picks up the bottle and she's like, look, the cap is this much, the packaging is this
I
much, the bottle is
remember.
this much, the liquid is this much.
50 paise ka cap.
Exactly.
3
bottle, 50 paise ka
can we
cap.
have it in the same run once
So
again
she
for
has
audience?
she has the
Right now.
product
Yeah.
down to the last paisa, not the
Yeah,
rupee,
yeah,
the paisa. So the reason why I brought that up was because you asked the question that, you know, this popularity comes in, how does it affect you?
Yes.
A founder like that who's put in that much sweat, and apparently it seems like, you know, with so much passion
Right.
and their own money, this is popularity, it comes.
And she's
then
still
you're
doing-
back,
and she's still sipping her brand, yeah.
And then you're back to your daily grind again.
Yeah.
So this popularity, like she rightly said, it's a blip and you're back to your daily hustle.
Right.
So yeah, and then you get invited to
So I'm
events
going to
like
quickly
this,
go
which
to
is cool.
Rajat now. Rajat, talking from, you know, one health, health conscious brand, and you have done a very good product which is in, I think, ECG space. It's a pocket friendly, very mobile, accessible ECG device. And I think it's really needed. And just a quick, story. I think Ghazal also talked about in the show that, you know, she lost somebody very close. I have lost my father when I was like barely a year old, and due to cardiac arrest. So the minute I saw your pitch, you know, that really touched me. That, you know, we really need those kind of devices in a lot of household. So it's a very serious thing to do. So how are you building business out of it? Is there a social cause also behind your entrepreneurship? Could you also, you know, quickly tell what you're doing with Oxford? I'm going to club all these 3 questions together for you.
Sure. Thank you so much. मुझे लग रहा है कि मेरा फर्रे लेके ना आना काम आ जाएगा, क्योंकि मैंने रिक्वेस्ट किया था इनसे कि मुझसे आसान आसान क्वेश्चन पूछना. तो बेसिकली व्हाट वी मेक एज गुरसौरभ आस्क्ड कि किसी के पास माचिस है क्या, तो माचिस तो यूजली मैं जेब में लेके नहीं चलता, बट हाँ मेरे पास एक चीज़ है जो माचिस जैसी दिखती है, और हम उसे एक डिवाइस, इस डिवाइस को हम लोगों ने एक नाम दिया है स्पंदन. सो यूजली जब हम अपने अराउंड देखते हैं तो एक बहुत कॉमन सी चीज़ है, जैसे हरित जी ने कहा कि वी लॉस्ट समबडी क्लोज और समबडी अराउंड अस ड्यू टू अ हार्ट अटैक. सो हार्ट अटैक एज अ वर्ड इट्स वेरी कॉमन एंड हम लोग रोज़ सुनते हैं. और इसके अराउंड अगर बात करें लोगों को खोने की, तो बात की जाती है कि अरे वो बिल्कुल ठीक थे, रात पे उनको चेस्ट पेन हुआ, जब तक हम हॉस्पिटल लेके जाते हुए और शी इज़ नो मोर, या जब तक हम लोग लेके पहुंचे डॉक्टर सेड इट्स टू लेट. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग अराउंड दिस स्पेस, एक चीज समझ आई कि हार्ट अटैक से वर्ल्ड में सबसे ज्यादा लोगों की डेथ होती है, और जो बेसिक टूल होता है यू नो मीजर करने के लिए हार्ट एबनॉर्मलिटी को, इट्स कॉल्ड ईसीजी, और 100 साल पहले इन्वेंट हुआ था. तो 100 साल हो गए इन्वेंशन को, एंड गुरसौरभ वाज टॉकिंग एवरी इन्वेंटर, एवरी एंटरप्रेन्योर इज नॉट टेकिंग यू नो देयर टेक्नोलॉजीज टू द लास्ट माइल. सो जब हम लोगों ने शुरू किया तो मुझे लगा कि 90% से ज़्यादा प्रोडक्ट्स रिसर्च जो स्कॉलर्स करते हैं, साइंटिस्ट करते हैं, वो हमेशा लैब में ही रह जाता है, लोगों तक तो शायद ही पहुंच पाए. और वी वर बिल्डिंग अ टूल. आई वाज इन द कॉलेज देन, सो आई स्टार्टेड दिस कंपनी आउट ऑफ कॉलेज. सो हम लोग एक टेक्नोलॉजी बिल्ड करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे. आई एम एन मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर, सो नथिंग रिलेटेड टू मेडिकल डिवाइसेस. सो उस टाइम समझ आया कि यू नो हम लोग जो जेब में फ़ोन लेके घूम रहे हैं, दिस इज एटलीस्ट 10,000 टाइम्स फास्टर देन दैट कंप्यूटर, जिसकी वजह से इंसान ने पहली बार चांद पर कदम रखा. तो उस फास्ट कंप्यूटर का हम लोग कुछ कर क्यों नहीं सकते हैं. दिस इज हाउ इट स्टार्टेड. देन आई लॉस्ट वन ऑफ माई फ्रेंड टू अ हार्ट अटैक, 21, सिटिंग इन द क्लास इन द मॉर्निंग, एंड इमेजिन हाउ वी रिएक्ट. अरे क्या हो गया है, यू नो, very casually, what did you have in breakfast or something like that. So जब तक समझ पाते तो मुझे ये समझ आया कि अगर इंजीनियरिंग में पढ़ने वाले लोगों का ये हाल है तो आम जनता का क्या हाल होगा अवेयरनेस को लेके. सो वी स्टार्टेड दिस कंपनी. हम लोग फ़ोन पे हार्ट अटैक चेक करते हैं, और जैसे आपने कहा कि गजल आस्क्ड दैट, गजल टोल्ड दैट यू नो शी ऑल्सो लॉस्ट समबडी. सो हम पे आज की डेट में सबसे ज़्यादा लोग पहले वही आके रिलेट करते हैं who has already lost somebody, ना कि वो लोग जो अवेयरनेस की तरफ आज भी जाएं.
करेक्ट, थैंक यू सो मच. सो गुरसौरभ, मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछता हूँ कि यू नो वी वर काइंड ऑफ, एंड ये क्वेश्चन ना बहुत कॉमन है. एक ना जब व्हेन यू आर गेटिंग फीचर्ड ऑन अ लाइव सोनी लाइव काइंड ऑफ टीवी, एंटरटेनमेंट टीवी, एंड द सेम टीवी आर यू नो नोन फॉर मेकिंग सास बहू प्रोग्राम्स, you know, making a lot of shelved programs, so to say. जितना आप लोगों ने देखा उसमें मतलब कितना edited था, कितना मसाला था, how much of it was truth, was this scripted somewhere, या फिर बहुत सारे retakes हुए, was it one shot? So just some you know question of those days.
How many of you think Shark Tank is scripted?
1, 2, 3 I can already say. So maybe we have to break the myth today, or probably
We got plenty of people.
yeah.
Okay. So before I answer that question, see, after all, it's a TV show,
Right.
right? It has to come on TV. That's one. And it has to compete with whatever else is on TV.
Right.
Now, in the age that we are living in, look at your Instagram, look at your television, look at your radio, look at anything that is a source of information. It is dying for your attention. With the music, with the colors, with the drama, with that dramatic, everything is dramatic because everything is dying to get your attention. Now, if even a serious TV show has to flourish and bring new content, see, it has to compete with Saas Bahu serials. So it needs to bring in a little bit of drama to exist. Otherwise, it will not exist. That's one. Now, second, is the show edited or is the show scripted? These are two different things. They don't have a script, and let me say it very clearly, Shark Tank is not scripted. There are no retakes. There is nothing. Whatever happens, you don't get to see the so-called sharks before the show. Whatever happens just the way it's happening here right now. However,
100% true. Yeah, so she's also saying 100% true. Each of you agree on that?
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Okay.
and I'll add to that,
Scary as
Harit.
hell, but yes.
And yes, you have to understand, like what I said, is it scripted or is it edited? Now, it is edited. The
Yeah, of
pitch
course.
goes on
You
for a
have to
longer
compress
time.
it.
Now, think about it when you watch it. When I watched my own episode, I was like, whoa, it's so dramatic. Because it's with the music. And do you think there's an orchestra sitting there playing the music?
Yeah.
The music is added afterwards, edited, you know, to condense it down to say 10 minutes, and then it starts looking a little bit fake. But you know, that's the price you have to pay
Right.
to bring in a show like this, which in turn makes dinner table conversations towards
On that.
business, towards entrepreneurship,
Very
towards
nice.
a startup, rather than just sitting and talking about film stars.
And I think that plays a pivotal role also, 10 years ago, if I made a pitch at my home that I want to start up versus now it is much easier because parents are also seeing it. They are also seeing, that in front of it. So I think that's actually for good for a lot of reasons. as well.
My own degree was in English literature.
Right.
And half of the terms, the fancy terms that I have learned, which I now use in pitches, is because of Shark Tank.
Chalo. Education is still relevant. Okay. ठीक है. So I'm gonna come this way because the time is also ticking. Jyoti, सबसे ज़्यादा खतरनाक shark कौन था in your pitch? किससे आप डर के गए थे?
So my actual pitch was 1.5 ghanta, 1.5 hours, which was edited to 12-13 minutes of what you see on TV.
Right.
Actually, none of the sharks are evil. The thing is, if you are an introvert like me, the build-up in your head.
No, the
is
confidence
so-
that you've said, I think.
That is, I have no idea how that looks. But inside, I was so scared. I thought कि बस रोना नहीं है. Like just hold
Really?
it in. Whatever it is, you just seem confident. You cannot. It is national TV. Your kids will judge you forever.
Yeah.
So other than that, a lot of back and forth starts happening, which you don't see. It got
Right.
edited out. Margins कहाँ है? Like the number part, you see the cost breakup. I know it because I've made it. And similarly for all aspects
Can
of
you do
business.
it once for us? कितने का क्या?
I
Because
can
he
tell
also
you.
requested the
Yeah,
same.
I
एक
would
बार
like to
हो
see that
जाए,
again.
हाँ. And I would like everybody to pay attention to this if you haven't seen the YouTube
And the would-be
version.
founders that are there
Yeah.
should actually see that how a founder is attached to
How
the actual
phenomenal it is,
product,
yes.
how in depth.
Okay. So, am I audible? So, this is 5 रुपए की bottle, 50 पैसे का ढक्कन, 2 रुपए की sleeve, 2 रुपए की चाय पत्ती, 5 रुपए की herbs, 6 रुपए की filling लगती है मुझे, packing लगता है, 1.5 रुपए का इंदौर से मुंबई तक transportation लगता है, और एक German technology हम use करते हैं,
वो
जिसके
भी
2
2
रुपए
रुपए का।
मुझे अलग से लगते हैं. तो total cost मेरी इसकी 32 रुपए आती है, और मैं ये 120 rupees में sell करती हूँ, जिसमें मेरा
Very
channel
nice.
margin है.
Great. So
That's the crispiest pitch that's out
that's a
there.
bit, yeah. So I'm gonna come to you, Rajat. So what are your plans with this device? Because I'm sure you mentioned about a couple of initiatives, including the one with Oxford. Why don't you quickly shed light for everybody to learn about it, and talk about it?
So, as I was talking about, the plan is to take it to the people, and how we are doing it, you rightly asked Kedarnath. So, just to set a test bed and an example as well, केदारनाथ में लाखों लोग जाते हैं. पिछले साल लगभग 2 मिलियन के आसपास लोग आए. पहले 2 महीने में 160 डेथ हुई. बिकॉज ऑफ द टेरेन, पीपल आर नॉट फिट एंड एग्जॉस्टिव ट्रैक की वजह से काफ़ी सारी कार्डियक डेथ्स होती हैं. और उन 107 डेथ्स में से 102 हार्ट अटैक की वजह से हुई. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट टेरेन एंड दैट रिमोट लोकेशन, वहाँ पे मेडिकल सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करना भी बहुत मुश्किल है. So we started a camp there just with this tiny device, or we reduced the mortality to 97%. So only 3 deaths happened there. Then a team of students from Oxford, they approached us. They said, we really like this work. We want to pitch your idea to a global competition at Wharton, and can we do that? We thought, okay, बढ़िया बात है, गांव से निकल के चलो ऑक्सफोर्ड तक तो पहुंचा. And then they pitched, and we won the largest prize there, which led to an investment as well. So officially Wharton invested in us, resulting to that. So गांव से निकल के वहाँ तक पहुंचे हैं, और मुझे लगता है कि अभी वापस गांव में लोगों के पास घर तक जाना है. That's what we are building.
Very nice, well said. Thank you. So, and before we sum up, I think the counter is saying time's up, but I'm still going to take this with you, Aditi. Chandigarh mein kab we can taste those momos?
I guess very soon. As a B2B product, we are already there actually.
Really? Okay.
Yes, we are already there since last 3 years.
And B2C?
And B2C, Yankees by Mami very soon, because I am more excited, I think, than the audience or customers here. Because I have lived in Mohali also, and I have seen a drastic change over here in Tri-City. So I am really excited to be here. It's very soon, yes.
Great. So thank you so much. I think for all 4 of you, round of applause for for of these travelers startups. And any help that you would need from TIE Chandigarh, will be always be there for you. And is TeaFit also being shelved in Chandigarh? Where can we see it?
So we have recently appointed a distributor in Chandigarh, so
Okay.
you should be seeing it in the next couple of weeks in
Great.
stores around Chandigarh.
Great. All right. So
Thank you for
all right.
inviting
So I'm going to just take maybe a 2-3 audience question very quickly. If you have, just raise your hand. Which startup you would like to ask this from the audience, and then we'll wrap up. A raise of hands. Yeah, go ahead, ma'am, please.
And the questions need to be really short
Yeah,
and
really
succinct.
short one. Yeah.
Hello, hi. So my question is for the founder of TeaFit. Sorry, I
Hi,
just forgot.
what's your name?
I'm Pragati.
Hi, Pragati.
So, ma'am, you said that after exploring a lot of things, you could finally figure out that what you really wanted to do. I think this is a journey for a lot of people. So, do you have any guidance on how actually soon can we figure out that what we really want to do, and so that will really motivate us to work hard towards achieving it and bring that to action?
So every life is different. Every milestone is different. It means different for everybody. But the one thing, if I can say from my experience, is being curious helps you. Just in general, being curious about things around you, just asking questions ki, if this is this way, why is it this way? Why are there only these kind of products here? What could be done better? So just वो अपने आप से सवाल जवाब करते रहना, and just staying curious about environment around you, and whatever role that you are currently working on. It may not be a straight path. Like you might be an engineer and you might go on to do something completely different. You might work in food, right? But nothing really goes to waste. Every thing that you've spent your time in, if you've done it diligently, all of it kind of comes to your rescue when you're building that one big dream that you finally kind of come on to. So there is no like quick answer that I can give you, but staying curious, being childlike, and kind of not giving up on yourself. Ki if this is the trajectory, then this is how it's going to be. It doesn't have to be that way. So yeah, I would say those are the things I hope that helped.
I
All right,
guess
thank
I
you.
think, if I recall, she's already on the path because I remember her in the master class. She had a lot of questions over there as well.
How lovely. So
Yes.
you're already there.
Right. So just one last question. Just one last question, please.
Could we
Cost
get the
of the
mic to
equipment and how many?
So हम लोग लगभग 7,500 का बेचते हैं, which is one time. आप थर्मोमीटर के जैसे घर पे रख सकते हैं, और एक टेस्ट की कॉस्ट एक चाय के कप से भी कम रहती है. TeaFit नहीं, मतलब रेगुलर चाय, अनुभव दुबे वाली चाय.
All right, very nice. So thank you so much, everyone. They will be, I think, with us throughout the evening. So you can always catch them back after the stage. So thank you so much for this session. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much, everyone. I would request everybody to stay back for a minute. और entrepreneurs के लिए खास कहा गया है कि कर लेते हैं बर्दाश्त हर चैलेंज इसी आस के साथ कि खुदा नूर भी बरसाता है आजमाइश के बाद. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a loud round of applause for our panel Beyond the Tank, Scaling Business with Investment from Shark Tank. And to felicitate this panel, may I have on the dais Mr. Satish Kumar Arora, Treasurer, TIE Chandigarh. First up, we have Mr. Gursaurabh Singh, founder, Dhruv Vidyut. Music की जरूरत है यहाँ पे, थोड़ा सा music बजाते हैं. Ladies and gentlemen, Gursaurabh Singh, founder, Dhruv Vidyut. Next up, we have Aditi Bhutia Madan, founder, Blue Pine Foods, Momo Mami.